Thank you for joining Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you enjoy this class. Don't forget to subscribe.
So let's start in child's pose. So two big toes together, knees apart, and then drop down. If you want to make it more restorative to the first posture, you can bring your bolster and rest over your bolster. Otherwise, let's start that area in the glutes and the hips as we start to ground. So child's pose, just by the nature of the pose, is a very grounding pose anyway. So let's use that to ground. And if your shoulders are feeling tender, bring the arms down by your heels. Simply just notice the breath. Notice if the body's fatigued. Some of you said that you've had fairly busy mornings, so already done some high energy stuff. So let's start to perhaps cool the body off and just slow things down. As I've matured in my years, I've come to realize when I have an idea that I'm perhaps a little, fearful about, or a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, rather than just wait and let my mind simmer on that feeling, the best action for me is to just do. So rather than, what I'm saying is, rather than wait for that perfect time, is simply just to start it anyway. And that doesn't have to be a big project or a big idea. It can be just any thoughts or things that you're pondering about, is to simply take action rather than waiting for the perfect time. So notice the breath in and notice the breath out. Take a quick gauge of how the body's feeling. Then with your next inhale, inhale the breath, let the breath go completely. Bring the hands in front of you and just lift the hips up. Come onto the finger mounds, scoot the knees back to hip width distance and come straight into puppy pose. So bringing the finger mounds to the edges of the mat, pushing the chest down and the hips up. So getting that initial stretch of the spine. If you want to go deeper, you just push the chest down a little bit more, walk the finger mounds a little bit further forward. Notice the breath in and notice the breath out. One more breath. Let's walk the hands back, coming back onto all fours, softening through the elbows. Let's take a couple of cat-cow curls. On the breath in, the waist goes back and the gaze goes up. And on the breath out, rounding and arching the back. Couple more like that. Breathing in and breathing out. Notice how the spine's feeling. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Then coming back to that neutral spine, keeping the left knee on the ground, just extend the right leg behind you. Just notice how the leg's feeling. Notice how the hip flexor's feeling. Just drop the toes down, just landing them wherever they land. Push out through the sole of that right foot. Imagine those finger mounds pushing the mat forward. Know that you can change the things that you have the power to change. You can take action anytime. Often we sabotage ourselves. When we have an idea and we're a little bit fearful, we talk ourselves out of it. One more breath. Inhale, that right leg extends up behind you again, just at hip height. As you exhale, let's cross it over to the left, getting into that glute muscle. Again, land it on its toes and then slide it all the way back. You may come down onto your forearms or you may stay on your palms, whatever feels good for you, and you'll get a stretch in that left glute and hip. Whether you're on your palms or your forearms, keep the eye gaze down low. My invitation is to stop waiting for that perfect day or that perfect moment. Take this day, take this moment, and then lead it into perfection, whatever that looks like. Take one more breath here. With your core, engage the core. Inhale the right leg all the way back. Take a big breath in and then drop it behind the left foot. If you need to make the base a bit bigger, bring the left foot out to the left. The left arm stays on the ground and the right arm reaches up. So like a modified side plank. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good, Karen. Breathing in, reach up. That right arm nice and tall. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, pivot round, and then drop the knees back down to hip width distance. Take a cat-cow curl here. Breathing in and letting the breath go. Coming back to a neutral spine, the left leg extends behind you, just at hip height. Notice how this side's feeling. Soften through the elbows. And then drop the left toes on the ground, wherever they land. Push out through the left sole of the foot, feeling the stretch down that leg, especially that calf muscle. Trying not to tense the shoulders and keeping the breath nice and even. Push a little harder if you want a deeper stretch. One more breath here. Left leg inhales back behind you. Take the breath in and cross it over to the right. Again, landing it on its toes and then sliding it all the way back until you feel the stretch in the right glute. You may want to drop down onto your forearm or just stay on your palms. My experience is that if you wait for the perfect conditions for anything, for any decisions, you'll never get anything done. Is any time perfect? The only time we have is the present. One more breath here. Press the palms back into the mat, engage the core, swing that left leg all the way up first. Take a breath here. Drop the left foot behind the right. Again, make the base bigger if you need a bit more support. Right hand stays on the ground and the left arm reaches up nice and tall. The gaze can be at the top thumb or just keep the gaze down at the mat. Push the mat away with the bottom hand as you reach up tall with the top. Take one more breath here. And then left palm comes back down on the ground. Pivot everything round. Drop the left knee back down. Dig the toes in and come up for downward facing dog. If that's not nourishing for you, come into puppy pose or stay on all fours. If downward facing dog is nourishing, just walk the knees in one at a time. If you're on all fours, you can take some cat-cow curls. And if you're in puppy pose, just push the chest down and hips up. Angle the eye gaze so that there's no straining in the neck. Take 2 more breaths in whichever posture that you've taken without rushing. And then on the inhale, if you're in downward facing dog, lift the heels up, come onto the tippy toes, gently walk up towards the front of the mat, towards your palm, and hang in ragdoll. And if you're on all fours, you can join us here. Interlace opposite palms to opposite elbows. Bend the knees as much as you need to and really drop the crown of the head down towards the mat. Notice your breath, notice your mind. The trick is to enjoy life each and every day, not to wish away our days or waiting for better ones. Enjoy each day, whatever it brings. One more breath here. Drop the hands back down to the mat. On the breath in, come into a halfway lift, widen through the collarbone. On the breath out, a forward fold. On the inhale, we're reaching up, grounding with the feet, but reaching up nice and tall. And on the exhale, bring the hands to your heart space as you empty the breath completely. Breathing in to reach up or up and over. And as you breathe out, take a swan dive down to the mat, empty the breath. A halfway lift. and a forward fold as you empty the breath. Let's do one more round. Breathing in, reaching all the way up, really press into the mat with the feet. Breathing out, hands to your heart space, emptying the breath completely. Inhale, reaching up, we'll take a back bend up and over. Exhale, down to the mat, empty the breath completely. A halfway lift, a nice flat back. And this time as you empty the breath, bend the knees, place the hands on the mat, step the right foot back. Adjust the feet so you're stable. Let's windmill straight up to warrior two arms. Bring softness in the shoulders. Lunge with that left knee. Angle the back foot so you're nice and stable, and softness through the shoulders. On the breath in, flip the palms and inhale, reach all the way up. On the breath out, hands to your heart space, and then open back up to warrior two as you lunge with that front knee. Let's flow a little. Inhale, the arms reach up, everything lengthens. Exhale to your heart space, warrior two. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out to your heart space and open the arms. One more. Inhale and exhale. Flip the front palm. Let's reverse, reaching up and over on the breath in. And then on the breath out, come back through to warrior two and then come into side angle lunge as that back arm sweeps over the head, the front arm on that front thigh. Use your core on the breath in, back to warrior two, reversing the stretch. On the breath out, back through warrior two, side angle lunge. We're doing two more rounds, so really ground with the feet, work the upper body, inhaling, sweeping that arm up and over. Exhaling, getting into the side body as you sweep the top arm over. Beautiful. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's hold this side angle lunge. Reach that top arm over. One more breath here. Use your leg strength and your core to come back through to warrior two. Bring the back hand to meet the front hand. Let's sweep the arms up, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, come down and frame that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot, scoot the foot to the back of the mat, and then drop the back knee down. Make sure you're stable with the feet, so hugging the inner thighs together. And then gently just lift the body up so the arms are just hanging down by your sides. Soften through the shoulders. Focus the eye gaze on one spot. Reach the arms up, interlace the fingertips. Pull up a little taller. And as you exhale, lunge with that left knee and bring the arms over to the left. You might feel it in that left glute. Two more like that. Breathing in, reaching up, keeping your eye gaze focused. Breathing out to take the stretch to the side and lunge. One more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, make a prayer at your heart space. Soften through the shoulders. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, take a twist to the left. So you can either keep upright or lunge forward with the body and hook right elbow over left thigh. Gaze can be neutral or behind that left shoulder. Keeping fluid with the breath. One more breath here. Bring everything back round to center. Reach the arms up first. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, come down and frame that front foot. Take the pressure off that leg. Keep the right hand grounded. Inhale, the left arm reaches all the way up. Gaze can be at the top arm. Keep your mind on the practice. One more breath. Inhale, reach up a little taller. As you exhale, let's come into your runner's lunge. Swing the hand to the inner edge of that left foot. Scoot the foot out to the left a little. Use your props if you need to. And let's just take a gentle rock or circles with that left Knee can rock backwards, forwards, side to side. If you want a little assist, you can keep the left hand on pushing away that left knee or thigh and lean the body in the opposite direction. Keep the breath flowing, maybe even just slow it down. Invitation is to do things now. Sometimes later becomes never. Notice how this hip flexor and left glute is feeling. Notice the breath. A few more breaths here. Just opening up the hip. And then wherever that left hand is, extend it back up again. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, drop it back down onto the mat. If you're on your forearms, push yourself up on both palms, and then let's come into pigeon. So pigeon toeing the foot over to the right side of the mat. Dropping that knee across and lengthening the back leg. If that doesn't serve your body, come onto your back and place left ankle over right knee. So first, let's get into the glute muscles. So widen through the collarbones. Take a breath in, perhaps even a back bend. Support yourself with your palms. As you breathe out, you're doing a little push-up. So if your glutes are tight, you might feel it as you come down. Inhale. You push yourself up again. Take a back bend. Exhale. Coming down just as much as you feel the stretch. Inhale. Push yourself all the way up again. And this time we're coming down all the way. So walking the hands down, resting over any props you've got, or even making a little cushion with your fists. And then just surrender into the posture. Make sure as best as you can that your head is resting on something. And then just allow the breath to really slow down here, really getting into that glute and hip flexor. Make sure the shoulders aren't tensing up. Perhaps just explore the thoughts that are passing through. Perhaps that perfect time to start something never arrives. Perhaps each moment is simply just the perfect time. I heard a phrase the other day which said, done is better than perfect. Often we wait when I get to this point in life, or when the kids have grown up, or when I have this amount of money. Sometimes that time never comes. So simply give up on being perfect and just begin. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Another breath in. Let the breath go. Very gently just start to walk the hands all the way back up, really lengthening through the spine. Perhaps just taking a gentle rock from side to side, just getting into that hip and glute area a little bit more. We're coming onto the ball of the back foot, lifting that leg up, pushing out through the sole of the foot. So a few options. If you want a deep stretch, inhale the left knee up. You can either drop onto all fours from here or extend the left leg all the way back up, feeling that stretch and coming into downward facing dog. So we'll all meet in downward facing dog or all fours position. Decide what's nourishing for your body and take that posture. And then take a moment, just 2 to 3 breaths. Let the body settle in whichever posture that you've taken. Notice how that one side of the body feels that we've stretched. One more breath here. If you're in downward facing dog, we're lifting those heels up, taking a gentle stroll up towards your palms. If you're on all fours, just meet us here. This time, let the arms just hang heavy. Just sway from side to side. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Make sure there's no tension in the back of the neck. On the inhale, come into a halfway lift. On the exhale, a forward fold. On the breath in, let's rise up again. Sweep the arms all the way up. This time, interlace the fingertips at the top. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, over to one side, bending the elbows over the crown of the head, but keeping equal weight in the feet. Breathing in, rising up again, and breathing out over to the other side. Let's do one more on each side. Breathing in to rise up, breathing out to take the stretch. Inhale to reach up, exhale to the other side. Good. Inhale, the arms reach up. As you exhale, make a prayer at your heart space as you empty the breath. Reach the arms up or up and over on the breath in. And as you breathe out, take a swan dive down to the mat as you empty the breath. A halfway lift. And as you empty the breath, hands come down on the mat, the knees bend, and we step the left foot back. Let's get stable first and then come up for warrior two on the other side. Softening through the shoulders, adjusting the feet, lunging with that right knee. Flipping the palms on the breath in, the arms reach all the way up, everything straightens. On the breath out to your heart space and back to warrior two. Lunge a bit deeper if you want a deeper stretch. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out. Warrior two. Two more like that. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bring it to your heart space and then open the arms up. One more. Breathing in and breathing out. Soften through the shoulders, flip the front palm. This time on the breath in, sweep that front arm up and over. On the breath out, back through center and then side angle lunge. The back arm comes over. You're grounding with the feet. Use your core and your leg strength to bring you back up and then reverse the stretch on the breath in. And on the breath out, back through warrior two and side angle lunge. Two more. Your breath is your guide. Breathing in, reversing the warrior. Breathing out through warrior two and side angle lunge. One more. Inhaling in. Exhaling. Let's hold this side angle lunge. Really peeling that top arm over to get into the side body. Notice the breath. Try not to tense the neck or the shoulders. One more breath. Then press down into the feet. Use your core. Come back through to warrior two. The back hand comes to meet the front hand. The arms reach up, straighten the front leg. And as you exhale, come down and frame that front foot. Pivot on the ball of the back foot. Scoot it towards the back of the mat before you drop the back knee and soften the back foot down. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Turn up the volume. No, all good? Okay, good. So press into the feet, hug the inner thighs together, focus your eye gaze, and then use your leg strength and your core to bring the body all the way up. Soften through the shoulders. On the breath in, the arms reach up. We're interlacing the fingertips. Reach up a little taller and then lunge with that right knee as the arms sweep over to the right. We're doing two more. Breathing in, use your leg strength to push you up. Keep grounded as you take the side stretch. One more. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhale, the arms reach up. Make a prayer at your heart space. Focus that eye gaze first, get grounded, take a breath in, and this time over to the right for a twist, either staying upright, leaning forward, hooking left elbow over right thigh and gazing behind you or forward. Notice the breath in, notice the breath out, one more breath. Bring everything back round to center, the arms reach all the way up, take a breath in, and then split the palms as you come either side of that front foot. Press into the left hand, breathe the right arm up, a gentle twist. The gaze can be at the top thumb or down at the mat, but really create length in that top arm as you push the mat away with that bottom palm. One more breath here. And then float that right hand to the inner edge of the right foot. Let's come into your runner's lunge on the other side. So more hips and glute, foot out comes to the right a little bit more. Hands come to meet it, use your props or stay on your palms or drop down onto your forearms. Move in a way that just gently opens up this hip flexor. Keeping the gaze down towards the mat. Know that we don't, any one of us, get the same moment twice in our life. Have no regrets. Take the opportunities when they present to you. Push the door a little bit more when it's a little ajar. And if it opens up a little bit more, then take that opportunity. Start where you are, use what you have, and then do what you can. Again, it doesn't have to be big ideas or big projects. It can be simple day-to-day things that we talk ourselves out of. Ringing up a friend, meeting up for something, organizing a special event. If not now, then ask yourself the question, when? Take one more breath here. If you're on your forearms, coming back onto your palms, we're pigeon toeing the foot over to the left, setting up the pigeon on the other side. Again, if this isn't nourishing, come onto your back and place right ankle over left knee. Sliding that back leg towards the back of the mat. So let's do those little push-ups first. So on the breath in, taking a back bend. And on the breath out, just bringing the body forward, tucking the elbows in towards the body. You feel it in the right glute. Inhale to push yourself up again, perhaps a gentle back bend. Exhale to come down. And then inhale one more time. Lengthen through the spine and then walk the hands down into full pigeon. Again, either coming down onto your mat or using a block or a bolster or your hands to rest on something. So don't let the head just dangle and let the neck take the strain. Make sure you're fully supported. And then let the breath open up this side of the body. Often that we hear that phrase which says, strike whilst the iron is hot. Maybe it should be not to wait until the iron is hot, but to make it hot by simply striking. Mel Robbins, some of you may have heard of her, talk about just everyday things like procrastination, self-sabotage. She uses the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule to count backwards to then almost trick and force herself into doing things. There's a great philosophy behind it if you're interested. By waiting, we simply stop and we almost find reasons to talk ourselves out from doing things. Usually fear and doubt are great players in that. Few more breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. And when you've taken your next inhale and exhale, just starting to walk that body back up again. Perhaps a gentle rock from side to side. We're coming onto the ball of the back foot, lifting that leg up, pushing out through the sole of the back foot. The right knee comes to meet you. Again, either drop onto all fours or extend the right leg all the way back up and come into downward facing dog. 2 to 3 breaths, whichever posture you've taken, all fours or downward facing dog. Notice any parts of your body that are holding tension. Try and soften those parts and maybe breathe a little bit deeper. Taking one more breath here. We'll all meet in ragdoll, so in downward facing dog, lifting those heels up, letting the body come to the top of the mat and hang over the thighs. If you're on all fours, join us here. Let's take 3 breaths here. Really just softening the knees, taking any tension off the lower back. And then on the inhale, come into a halfway lift. On the exhale, fold forward. This time on the breath in, come up nice and slow. Pressing into the feet to ground you, and then letting the rest of the body just peel all the way up until you come to standing. Focus your eye gaze on one spot, and then just take a gentle rock forward. So on the inhale, maybe lifting the heels up, coming onto the tippy toes, keeping the eye gaze focused. On the exhale, dropping the heels down, curling the toes up towards you. A couple more like that. Just feeling the different stretches as you come onto the tip toes, and then as you lift the toes up. Do one more. And then really ground with the feet. Let the feet just press down firmly into the mat. Bring the hands to your hip flexors, so round about where the kidneys are. And just let the hands just fully support that area. Focus your eye gaze, keep the collarbones wide. We're bringing the right knee up. You can hold onto a wall if you like, and then crossing the right ankle over the left knee. So if you want to get into that glute and hip area, you start to bend the left knee and sink down. So almost like the lower half of the body is in seated chair. And if you need a bit of support, you can do the same posture. Just hold onto a wall. Make sure you're pushing out through the sole of that right foot so the toes are curling back. And you can, if you're holding onto a wall or if you're in a balance, you can use the right palm just to gently push the knee away to get a little bit deeper. If you need a more gentler practice, you don't go down as low. Keep the eye gaze focused. Deepen your breath cycle. One more breath here. And then very gently start to straighten the legs, releasing that right knee back up, and then bringing the feet about the width of your mat and fanning the toes out. So the knees have got a gentle micro bend in them. Stand up nice and tall. On the breath in, sweep the arms up, let the fingertips meet at the top, follow your palms with your eyes. On the breath out, coming into a little squat. Bring the hands to your heart space first, and then just fold over as you empty the breath completely. Inhale, ground with the feet, reach up nice and slow. Let the fingertips meet at the top. As you exhale, bringing everything all the way down, and then just letting the body fold heavily forward. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in, sweeping those arms up, good. Hands to your heart space. Squatting down and then folding forward. One more. Breathing in, it's like a moving meditation. And then breathing out. Inhale, reach the arms up, take a breath in, this time make a prayer. And bring the hands to your heart space. Focus your eye gaze as you pigeon toe the feet back to hip width distance. Get grounded first. So if you need to lift the feet up and drop them back down. This time the left knee releases up and we're bringing left ankle over right knee. Again, feel free to hold on to a wall. Once you feel stable, if you want to get into those hip flexors, bending that right knee. And again, making sure you're pushing out through the sole of that left foot. So the toes are curling back. The mind is focused. You can use the left hand just to push the knee away if you want to get a little deeper. Keep grounded in that right foot. Keep the breath flowing, inhaling and exhaling. One more breath. And then gently straighten the right leg. The left knee releases. And this time make the feet nice and wide on your mat. So you can feel that initial pull in the inner thigh. On the breath in, the arms sweep all the way up again. And on the breath out, cactus arms. So bending the elbows, peeling the shoulder blades so they're squeezing together, opening the heart and perhaps gazing up as you squat down. Yeah, beautiful. Inhale, use your leg strength, push up, take a breath in. Exhale, tailbone heavy as you sink down, peeling the shoulders and opening the heart. 2 more like that. Breathing in to rise. And then breathing out to come down. 1 more. Inhaling in. And exhaling out. Inhale, push the arms up again. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, sweep the arms so that you catch hold of your hips again. Take a deep inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, take a lunge with the right knee as you keep the left leg straight. Feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Breathing in, push yourself back up to center. As you breathe out, over to the other side. 1 more on each side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to take the stretch. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come back to starting position. Empty the breath completely. Sweep the arms all the way up again. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take a swan dive down to your mat, emptying the breath. If the hands don't quite reach, use a block or something to help you. Otherwise, finger mounds or hands. Drop the crown of the head towards the mat. Take a walk over to the right foot. Place the left palm either around the ankle or the calf, wherever it lands, and breathe the right arm up for a twist. The gaze can be behind you, or you can keep the gaze down at the mat. If you want to twist a little deeper, twist at the waist and turn the gaze behind you, but reach up tall with that right arm. 1 more breath. Exhale, the right hand sweeps back down. Walk back through center, over to the left. The right palm comes over the right ankle or calf. And this time the left arm reaches up. Gaze is at the mat or behind you as you take the twist. 1 more breath here. Left hand comes down. Walk the hands back through center. On the inhale, a halfway lift, a nice flat back. Exhale, a forward fold. This time on the inhale, bring the hands to catch your hips. Keep the back flat. Empty the breath completely and then use your core and your leg strength just to gently and slowly push yourself back up to standing. Beautiful. Pigeon toe the feet so that they're back to hip width distance. You're back facing the front of the mat. On the breath in, sweep the arms up. On the breath out, hands to your heart space as you empty the breath completely. Inhale, a back bend as the arms sweep up and over. As you exhale, take a swan dive to your mat, emptying the breath. A halfway lift. And this time, as you empty the breath, hands onto the mat, widen through the knees, come into child's pose. If you want a little stretch of the shoulders, make an upside down prayer at the nape of the neck. Elbows are down on the mat, or arms in front or behind you. And just regulate the breath for the next 5 breaths or so. Notice the quality of mind again. Not waiting for the perfect time. Perhaps we need to live as if we were to die tomorrow, but perhaps we need to learn as if we were to live forever. Do it now, whatever that it is. Sometimes that later becomes never. And we are only guaranteed today. So let's stop waiting for tomorrow. Whichever posture your palms have taken, let's bring them back in front. Pushing the hips back up, bringing the knees back to hip width distance. Let's walk the hands back towards the knees. You can dig the toes in if you want to stretch of the feet. On the breath in, sweeping the arms all the way up. You can add a gentle back bend. On the breath out, sinking the hips down as you sweep the arms to one side. It doesn't matter which. Inhale, reaching up again or up and over. As you exhale, over to the other side. One more on each side. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out to take the stretch. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up, take a breath in. Let's take a swan dive back down to the mat. Let the hands land. Once they've landed, a cat-cow curl here. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to a neutral spine, either swinging the ankles to the side or crossing over them. Whichever seated posture is going to be comfortable for you, come into that posture. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. Let the sit bones settle either over a bolster or on the ground. Soften through the shoulders. Push the palms behind you so the shoulder blades are squeezing together. And then on the inhale, push the palms up and the gaze can follow the palm. On the exhale, bending the elbows and pushing the palms out to the side, just at shoulder height. Feel the stretch. Inhale, hinging from the hips, but grounding with the sit bones as you sweep the arms in front. Reach them all the way up. And then your own body resistance as you flip the palms and push all the way down to your side. Arms float back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, reaching all the way up, lengthening. Exhale, bending the elbows. Feel the stretch across the shoulder blades as you push the palms out. Inhale, reaching forward, stretching the arms, palms facing up as you gather all the way up. And then flipping the palms. Let the hands just land down by your side gently. Keep the left hand grounded. On the inhale, the right arm reaches up. On the exhale, sweep it to the left as you bend the left elbow. Breathing in to reach up. Breathing out, taking the stretch to the left. One more. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to take the stretch. Inhale, that right arm comes up again. As you exhale, drop the right palm on the left knee. Sweep the left hand behind the back so the core's now working. A breath in as you lengthen and then turn and gaze over that left shoulder for a twist. It's like you're pulling that left knee towards you, using your core to keep you upright. One more breath. And then floating everything back round to center, reaching the arms all the way up. As you exhale, drop the right hand down by your side. Left arm reaches up on the breath in, and as the exhale, you take the sweep to the right as you bend that right elbow. 2 more like that. Breathing in to lengthen. Good. Breathing out to take the stretch. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, the left hand comes up. As you exhale, place that left palm on the right knee. The right arm wraps around your back. A breath in first to lengthen. And then as you pull that knee towards you, turn and gaze over that right shoulder. Breathing in to lengthen and breathing out to twist. One more breath here. Everything sweeps all the way back round. Reach the arms up. As you exhale, place them either side as you extend the legs out to the front of the mat. Bring the two big toes together. Just rotate the ankle one way and then the other way. Notice how the legs are feeling. And then point the toes away from you. Feel the stretch in the calves. Either take a back bend with everything seated, so peeling the shoulders back, opening the heart. If you want a little bit more activity, you can press into the palms, engage the leg muscles and the glutes. Keep pointing the toes away. You can tuck the chin into the chest and gaze forward, or you can drop the head back. We're only holding it for 3, 2, 1. If the hips are lifted, just gently drop them down. And then lower yourself down onto the mat. Once you're down, bring those knees in for a squeeze. Take a gentle rock from side to side, taking any pressure off that lower back. Noticing how the mind is. And then dropping the feet back down. On the breath in, sweep the arms behind you. Feel the stretch in the upper body. On the breath out, place the hands down by your side. Press into the palms and the feet as you lift up for bridge pose. Again, keeping those glutes engaged. Thigh muscles, knees are pointing up. One more breath here. And then gently just lowering everything down with control. Extend that right leg down onto the mat. Bring the left leg to meet it and cross the left ankle over the right. Bring the arms over the head. Hold the left wrist with the right fingertips and scoot everything out to the right for like a banana-shaped stretch. Getting into that left side, really peeling the feet and the arms over. Keep the breath still fluid. One more breath here. And then uncrossing the ankles, bringing everything back through center. Take a full body stretch here. And then let's take it over to the other side. Crossing right ankle over the left, holding the right wrist with the left fingertips. And this time everything comes over to the left side. You make that little arc. Feeling the stretch down the opposite side this time. One more breath here. And then uncrossing the ankles, releasing the wrists, coming back to center first. Bring the hands down by your side. Take a deep inhale, let the breath go. Let the body just settle for 2 to 3 breaths. And when you're ready, just make your way into your inversion. If you're ready for Shavasana, feel free to stay here for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, make your way either in a supported inversion with a block, or if you're wanting a more active inversion, making sure that you protect your lower back, whichever posture you've taken. And then really slowing the breath down here, trying not to let that mind get busy and ramp up. Notice the thoughts that are rushing through. The 3 C's, choice, chance, and change. Perhaps we need to make the choice to take the chance if we want anything in our life to change. There's no such thing as the perfect timing, in my opinion. There's only now. Life is about moments. My encouragement is not to wait for them, but to create them. We all have an opportunity. And if we wait until we're ready, we might be waiting for the rest of our life. Taking a few more breaths here, really just slowing everything down now. And when you're ready, just making your way out of your inversion, we'll all meet just with the whole of the body just resting on the mat to start with. Let the spine settle. Make sure the back of the body is fully supported. Then we're digging the right heel into the mat so the toes are pointing upward and pushing out through the sole of that right foot. So from the right hip all the way down out through the sole of the foot, like you're trying to make that right leg a little bit longer than the left. Feel that stretch in the lower half of the body and then bring the right arm behind you. So we're stretching the whole of that right side of the body, peeling the right fingertips back, pushing out through the sole of the right foot. Take a deep breath in, let the breath go. And then soften that side of the body, bring the right arm back down by your side. We take it on the other side. So relax the right foot, dig the heel of the left foot into the mat, toes pointing up. Push out through the sole of that left foot. Feel the stretch from the left hip all the way down. And then when you're ready, bringing the left arm back, stretching the whole of that left side. A deep inhale in, a long breath out, and then softening the body. If you want to come into Shavasana, go ahead. If you want a gentle twist, bring the knees together, the feet together. Bring the arms out by your side, palms facing down. And then take the breath in as you breathe out. Just drop the knees to one side. Taking a breath in, letting the breath go. Using your core to bring the knees back up when you're ready. And then dropping them to the other side. Maybe do one more on each side, just holding it for as long as you feel is nourishing for your body. And once you feel ready, you can extend the legs down, perhaps take a full body stretch, a deeper breath in and a longer breath out before you come into the final resting pose, or see if your body needs any other postures before you come into that final resting pose. It's making yourself nice and comfortable where you are. Allowing your breath to be your anchor if the mind gets pulled away. And just observing whatever comes up for you. I'll guide you when it's time to come back in.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream true. Ooh. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops. Ooh, way above the chimney tops, that's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Then why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Yeah, where troubles melt like lemon drops. Ooh, way above the chimney tops, that's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby.
Gently become aware of your surroundings, keeping the gaze within, but having a sense of where you are in the room that you're practicing. Come back to the contemplation of waiting for the perfect time, whether that resonates with anything in your life, even day-to-day decisions. Stop waiting for Mondays, January the 1st, Fridays, weekends, change in season. Know that happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for it and make the most of the moment that you're in now. Imperfectly perfect. If you want to introduce some movement, perhaps bring the knees in for a squeeze and roll over to one side. Otherwise, just stay where you are. Keep that internal gaze. The most dangerous way we sabotage ourselves is by waiting for the perfect moment to begin. Nothing perhaps works perfectly the first time, or even sometimes the first 50 times. Everything has a learning curve. The beginning is just that, a beginning. Surrender your desire to do it flawlessly on the first try. It's not possible. Learn to fail, learn to learn from failing, and begin today. In fact, begin now and stop waiting. If you're coming up seated, make your way there now. If you're lying down, simply stay as you are. Let's bring our hands either over our heart space or in prayer. Let's take a breath together, a deep inhale in, a long exhale out. Know that life is a beautiful imperfection that we can choose to see and accept and make the best of it. And perhaps one day we wake up and decide to stop waiting for our life to begin and instead start making things happen instead. Not to talk, but simply to act. Not to say, but simply to show. And not to promise, but simply prove. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us for Stretch and Flow with Rashi. We hope you've enjoyed the class. Please subscribe and make sure if you have any questions, please send an email, get in touch some way. Once again, thank you and have a great day.